Tonight on Country Squire Radio, we're talking about a company that you know and love. We certainly do, BriarWorks. Also, we've got a pipe question of the week all about whether or not tongue bite actually exists. Is this some massive conspiracy within the pipe community? We unpack this very serious question when we get there tonight. We also got quick fire questions, listener feedback, and more starting right now on Country Squire Radio. Welcome to Country Squire Radio. I'm Beau.
And I'm John David.
JD.
Hey, Beau. Good evening, man.
Man, good evening to you. How you doing today?
I'm doing great. It's been really busy here. It's so up and down all the time. I feel like I'm a broken record every week. It's like, what's going on? Well, it's slow and then it's busy, and that's just kind of how it goes. But it really has been nice. People are getting geared up for the holidays, and we've had those first few folks come in. Not just to make purchases for others, but when you kind of get closer to Thanksgiving, you start thinking, well, maybe I need some nice stuff for the holidays.
Man.
So you come in and start looking around. Like, I've already had a guy come in and buy Costello as a birthday or a Christmas present to himself. I'm like, man, you must have thought you were a pretty good boy. It's just a fun time of year to see people get geared up for all that.
You know how you get like the Amazon wish list that you can kind of put together and make it public in case anybody just wanted to happen to give you a gift or something like that?
No, yeah.
Could you put up something like that in the Squire where it's like Beau's, dear Santa, quote unquote Santas. I've been pretty good this year.
Yeah.
These are the pipes I'd really like. And if you just happen to be in the store and you want to pick me up a pipe, this is the one that I want.
Yeah, it's interesting actually for our local folks. We do have a registry. So not a registry, but it's when you sign up for the Loyal Squires Club, you actually on the back of the form, there's a thing you can give your preferences and stuff. And that way, when people come in, they're like, hey, my buddy so-and-so shops here. Do you know what he likes? And, if we don't happen to, if the staff member at the time doesn't happen to know him or whatever,
sure.
Got his preferences on file or something. But it'd be kind of fun, to do I don't know, like almost adopt a podcaster kind of thing, and maybe someone could buy you that, but buy you that favorite Lancaster tobacco.
Oh, no, not that.
Yeah.
That stuff is just borderline garbage. But no, like a good meerschaum pipe with a white rose. That sounds good. I can't wait to. This has always been on my hit list for some time.
I've been on the lookout for one of those.
Man,
by the way.
if you find one, please let me know.
And you almost had one is the problem. Yeah. You almost had one. I mean, we've talked about that before, but that was one of those things. The guy looked at you. He literally had the sale in his hand, and then I mean, you were gonna buy the thing, and then he's like, "Oh, this is a good pipe for the ladies."
Ladies' pipe.
And then you're like, and you just set it back on the table.
Yeah. I was like, why'd you do that to me, man? Like, it's cool.
He had the sale.
He really did. I want to mention something. It's been a rough day for me, man. I mean, listeners may recognize in my voice, I've actually been like conserving my voice all day because I've been kind of fighting off some of the crud. And but this morning, I actually had a run-in with a member of our local pipe community.
A run-in?
Yeah. Well.
In it, like, was it fisticuffs?
No, it's Jack. And I'll just leave it at that because we actually, I don't know if we officially made eye contact or what the deal was. We were both here at the Hinds County Circuit Court.
Oh, really? A speeding ticket?
Not a speeding ticket.
Okay.
I believe, and we never got to compare notes, but I believe we were both there for jury duty.
Okay.
And so this is
okay.
I'm one of the few people in the country that actually likes to be selected for jury duty.
Well, that makes one of us.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, but here's the thing, man. Like, so I've got the crud, but so do my kids, both of them. My wife's been fighting this stuff off. Plus, she was in Memphis all day today.
Yeah.
For business, and so I fell into that. If you were the sole caretaker of a dependent or whatever it is,
right?
A child or an elderly person, then you have to come up and do it. So I get up there and man, I've been like all night long trying to deal with like these kids waking up and trying to like care for everybody. Plus I'm fighting this stuff off. And so I get up there and the judge asked me, he's like, all right, so why do you need to leave? I was like, huh? Oh, I got a kid. And they're like, okay, and you can't serve? And I was like, no. And then I kind of walked through everything. And he starts asking me questions, but you know how you kind of zone out a little bit because you just hear that wham, 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 wham.
Right.
That's what I heard.
And you did that in a court of law.
Exactly. And I certainly didn't lie.
They're
about
like,
anything.
Contempt of court. This man is It's obviously intoxicated or delusional or something.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
You
Well,
smoked too much perique today.
fortunately, he kind of looked at me and goes, "You had a rough night last night, didn't you?" I said, "Yes, sir." He's like, "You're dismissed." I was like, "All right." But I
Get
don't
out
know
of
if Jack ended up getting there or not. I was hoping I'd see him here at the Squire because
here. Yeah, you
typically
never know.
9 times out of 10 I see him here. But anyway, if we don't see him here in the next couple of days, he's working a big case.
He's probably working a big case, and
Yeah.
you know, maybe we'll see him afterwards on the news. Yeah,
Yeah, you never know.
that's great.
You never know. Well, yeah, man. You know, some great things going on. You know, we're
Yeah,
building
that's
up
right.
to the Christmas season. In fact, we're doing something different this year that I think we've wanted to do for a long time, and that's we've got a custom corncob competition.
I'm
Going
so
on.
excited about this. Yeah,
It's it's a work in progress because like every single episode since we've announced it, we've given you more information about it. It's like if you were ever wondering whether or not you were dealing with amateurs, you're dealing with amateurs. That's what we are.
oh, that's it.
We've been doing this for a while, but anytime we do something new, it is literally the first time that we do it. And so anyway, all that to say, we've gotten a lot of requests in terms of more information, and the Facebook post is actually going out tonight as we record the podcast on Monday night with all of the details that you need for the custom corncob competition, which we should probably have a cooler, better name for. Really.
Yeah, you know, that's for next year.
Yeah, we'll come up with that part.
But
next year.
it's exciting. So we're doing this. You know, obviously we love Missouri Meerschaum. They're great friends of Country Squire Radio, and we believe in their products and the people behind the counter up there as well. And so this is kind of a collaboration, right? We're trying to get you guys to you know, just enjoy this whole process. We're gonna you know, encouraging folks to get, you know, their favorite Missouri Meerschaum, customize that thing. You know, you can do whatever you want to as long as it maintains smokability.
Smokability.
That's right. So
That's
it has to be smokable. You know, and basically you can customize it however you want to. The contestants need to send their pipes to the Country Squire.
That's correct.
Which is it? I'll give this. Of course, we've gotten this in print elsewhere as well. But just if you're listening, it's 1855 Lakeland Drive, Suite B as in boy 10, Jackson, Mississippi 39216, and all those have to be here at the shop by December 15th.
And you definitely want to do this. It's gonna be a lot of fun. We've got a custom cob trophy that will be going to the winner.
I have not seen said trophy. I'm still skeptical.
It's a work in progress. You remember those boxcar things you did with your dad back in the day for Boy Scouts and everything?
Yeah. Huh?
All right. Well, picture that.
But crummier.
But well, but with like a pipe hot glued on it. No,
Okay.
It's better than that.
Oh,
as I say it out loud, never mind. I'm gonna return some of the components. Well, it'll be great. It'll be great.
It's gonna be awesome. We promise.
We'll also debut that the trophy on the episode that we announce the winner. And of course, we will be judging the winners. However, if you are sending it in, every single pipe that we receive, we'll take pictures of. We'll promote them out.
That's right.
On Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, along with who actually decorated said pipes. And one of the things that we've been kind of wanting to do with this contest as well is all of the entries. Once the contest is completed, they'll be auctioned off or sold, with the profits going completely and totally to the Ronald McDonald House.
That's right.
Now, Ronald McDonald House is a great organization. It's one that personally took care of me and my family a couple years ago when my brother-in-law passed away. It was a really rough time for us. It was actually it was the last time that I got a chance to talk to him, and it was up in Grand Rapids, Michigan. And all the family was kind of coming in to have those last moments and everything else. And so the Ronald McDonald House has always been very generous and opening up spaces for families to come in and kind of giving them a safe, comfortable place to live out oftentimes some really tragic and
really difficult situations,
experiences.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
So we're happy to help raise some funds by as part of this contest. And so anyway, all that to say, not only do you get a chance to decorate a fun pipe, which is a lot of fun. Not only do you get a chance at winning the gold trophy monstrosity that you will see at the award, but also
I'm sure it's awful.
That pipe, once it the profits from the contest, they do go to raise funds for the Ronald McDonald House. So we encourage you to do that. And again, that post with all the information is coming out tonight on our Facebook page, and all entries must be in by December 15th.
That's right. Mailed here to the Country Squire. We're so excited. We can't wait to see what all you guys come up with, and are just really fired up about getting that out there. And of course, you could wind up with one of these pipes yourself. So
that's right.
It's great, man. One more point of order before we get into some of our stuff. We've actually got another cigar event coming up
What?
here at the Country Squire.
Oh, dang.
So November 30th, here at the Country Squire, La Aurora Cigars will be here 6 p.m. Doing a buy 3 get 1 free kind of thing. Also a buy 5 get 2 free drinks for the first few folks that come in. And anyway, should be a lot of fun. These days we've got a lot of pipe cigar crossover things going on, and so we're hoping to do more of that. Won't be having another pipe event here at the shop until sometime in the first quarter of next year, but looking forward to announcing that probably pretty soon.
Oh, that's great, man. All right, what time do you have to be here for the free drinks?
6 o'clock.
And
6 o'clock.
Is it really like you have to be here at 6, or just
no? But you do have
to be
to
here before they're all drunken.
You do have to be here and purchase something.
I gotcha.
Yeah, so that would probably exclude you.
How much? how much is a tamp?
I know, right? Yeah, I want to buy this tamp. Right? Can I buy 1 pipe cleaner?
Exactly.
Is that worth a beer?
Like
speaking of drinks, I'm drinking our wonderful ouzo provided by one of our really kind listeners. This is ouzo from Greece, from the Isle of Lesbos, that we have discussed here on Country Squire Radio before. And I just happened to be out of Boodles tonight, and I needed something spritzy and refreshing, and so to our good friend that gifted us this ouzo, thank you for quenching my thirst this evening.
Absolutely, it smells like licorice in here. Good to know. So whenever you run out of Boodles, you go for the lesbian stuff.
I think so. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. That
Hey, that's your preference.
Yeah,
wrong with it.
no, it's just a personal preference.
Yeah, that's fine. Perfectly fine. All right, man. Well, hey, we got a great show tonight. We're actually doing a spotlight on a company.
That's right.
Specifically a pipe manufacturer. Now, we've got wonderful ongoing series that we like to do from time to time, and in fact quite frequently. But in between those series, we like to do kind of some spotlights, looking at different tobacco manufacturers, different types of styles and shapes of pipes. And I'm really excited that we do get to talk about a pipe manufacturer tonight, because we're actually talking about one that has become kind of a staple in the American market specifically, and perhaps even with some notoriety far beyond. So
That's right.
I'm really
That's
excited
right.
about this one, man.
Yeah, of course, we're talking about BriarWorks USA, right? BriarWorks pipes, and of course, Pete and Todd, both, the founders and folks that own and run this thing. Big fans of Country Squire Radio, great friends of the Country Squire, and just really talented people. And so, we love. I love to sell their products because it's easy to believe in. That's the thing. I mean, you can kind of pick out, even when you come in our shop, or probably other pipe shops, kind of what the people behind the counter believe in, because they just have more of that stuff. And there's a reason we have a lot of BriarWorks here at the Squire, because we believe in their pipes. But yeah, just a really interesting story. We have discussed at length before on CSR. Peterson, Savinelli. We've done Brebbia, Costello, Nording. I can't remember if we've done Nerup, but I know we talked about them.
I'm almost positive
quite a bit. We've talked about all these just kind of well-known pipe manufacturers, Dunhill,
legacies,
legacy brands, and one that is just really coming online here, and is a relatively new brand, but is really certainly taken the American market by storm, has been BriarWorks. And it was just time to do it, man, because they've got such a foothold in the market now. Their pipes are wildly popular, as I saw in Chicago of this past year at the Chicago Pipe Show. And of course, we like to support and talk about again, people we believe in, and those are certainly the folks up there in Nashville.
Yeah, that's right. We've had the amazing opportunity over the last couple of years to meet a lot of kind of some big names in the industry, on some of the shows, and then just through conversations off air. I mean, obviously with John David Cole, the Country Squire, when you call into customer support, you always get like, oh, who is this?
Oh, let's
get the CEO on.
Oh, the phone. Yeah, let me tell you, they'd send me to the head operator. Yeah, no, he's getting the phone tree. That's right.
Point being that I do recall a couple of years back when you had met an owner of a specific pipe manufacturer. I don't believe you had met them before. And you never, it's not that you were kind of down on their pipes, you just hadn't really kind of processed them as much. But
Yeah,
then when you
sure.
meet the people behind it, you're like, oh my goodness, these people are really, really great people.
Yeah.
All of a sudden you're like, I want to push their stuff. I want to make
Well,
sure that like my customers know about these amazing pipes that are being
and
made.
let's be honest, it helps when they make a quality product too, right?
Absolutely.
I mean,
Yeah,
there's
yeah, yeah.
there's some really kind, wonderful people out there that maybe should be doing other things with
Let's
their
not
time.
name names on that one.
I know, right? I know. People in their mind are probably thinking, yeah, there's a couple of podcasters in Jackson, Mississippi that may want to consider other career opportunities. No, but yeah. So anyway, we believe in what they're doing, and it's funny we're just gushing with them. We are talking about all kinds of we talk about all kinds of pipe manufacturers, and we do this just as part of our thing. But I do want to be clear; they haven't paid us to talk about them.
No,
tonight.
not at all, not at all.
And so we
Yeah.
just we do like to go through all that. Maybe they should.
It is interesting, right? Because I do kind of feel a little bit of the pressure this time around, because we've talked about manufacturers in the past.
That's right.
But we haven't had direct relationships with the manufacturers.
Not to this level.
Yeah, and so it is one of these things. Like, all right, we need to be fair, impartial.
That's right.
And but also know that Pete's probably listening. What's up, Pete?
Hey, buddy. Hope the fam's doing great. Yeah, that's right. Well, man, BriarWorks USA, Nashville, Tennessee. This was a company started in 2012 by Todd Johnson and Pete Prevost. Of course, two of the most accomplished artisan pipe makers in the United States, and I think this is what kind of makes the BriarWorks unique, in that it is founded by very highly esteemed artisan pipe carvers. These are people that sell their pipes on the market when they have time to make their own pipes nowadays, which is not as often as it used to be, because they've got their hands in so many other things. But Pete and particularly Todd's pipes, I mean, they go sometimes for thousands of dollars on the market. I know Todd in particular, he's got pipes that sell in East Asia for several $1,000s sometimes. Collectors that just are high net worth, they're always after their pipes and things of that nature. And it's just really awesome that these guys who are snobs about the fundamentals, about using the best materials, the best manufacturing processes, they're like, look, we're gonna make a pipe company in America. We want to do this. We want a manufacturing pipe company right here in the States. And so a little background between of the guys that kind of got this off the ground. Todd began making pipes in 2000, and of course he's really considered one of the probably top, I'd say, 5 most acclaimed pipe makers in the United States.
Ooh,
Okay,
we
so I
need
mean
to do an episode that's that top 5 list.
Yeah, we probably do. Yeah, and he would
yeah.
definitely certainly make that list.
Yeah.
And then and he's just been in this game for a long time. His pipes are featured all over the world. Again, very highly sought after in other countries. And and not only are his pipes expensive, it's hard to get your hands on one. I mean, it's just they're just really really coveted pieces. And of course, Pete is the same way. Pete, interestingly enough, was a student of Todd's, and so Pete, I think he's maybe a little older than us, like late 30s, mid to late 30s. And this is a guy that moved from Southern California to Nashville. Several
usually
years
it's the other
ago.
way around.
I know, right? Yeah. He moved to Nashville because he's Pete was a musician.
That's right.
And was actually I love this. He was the guitarist in a Christian band, Sanctus Real, which is and it's funny, you can actually go Google
Cirque du Soleil. Wait, what was it called?
I think it was Cirque du Soleil.
Cirque du Soleil.
Yeah, no, Sanctus Real, and they and it may be Sanctus Real, I don't know, but they have a you can go Google their old album covers, and there's Pete Prevost, like pipe maker extraordinaire with long hair and a terrible outfit and all that kind of stuff. And Pete, we love you. But anyway, it's just kind of neat to see. Oh, he moved to Nashville, to pursue this thing, and got into pipe making as a hobby. He had smoked a pipe since he was 18, and had a lot of fun with that. And then just kind of came under the wings of both Todd Johnson and Jody Davis, two really well known pipe makers in America. So anyway, this was kind of a thing that they did on the side. And then eventually, Pete was approached by Todd Johnson and said, "Look, Todd kind of had this idea. Why don't we try to give this whole manufacturing thing a stab, right? Let's see what happens here." What's interesting, and this is, just the reality of it, they actually initially tried to set up their factory in China, and so they had a
Oh,
China.
interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and if you think about the economics of it, that it makes sense why they might have done that,
That's what they
right?
always
So,
tell you to do on Shark Tank.
yeah, I know, right? Well, they just sent it to China. Well, anyway, so they had a factory in China, trying to produce these pipes that were inspired by their shapes and things of that nature. And so they tried this for a season. The interesting thing was though, is that Todd in particular realized quickly that the pipes were only cranked out to his quality standards when he was there, right?
Mm,
And,
mhm,
and you know,
mhm.
these are people that are just meticulous nerds about the briar, the fundamentals of the drilling, everything from the sanding to the polishing and the stains and all this kind. I mean, they really wanted it to have a just a really high quality for a manufactured pipe. And so you just realized that at kind of a early stage that the pipes over that were being made there weren't really being made to the quality they wanted unless they were there on site.
Hmm.
And so it actually got to the point where, oddly enough, Todd was considering moving over to China. He was ready to, move over there and kind of
Yeah.
be present on site, move his family over there, and have a place to live and all that. And then eventually just realized, you know what, we're gonna stay here and try to do this in America. And so they brought the stuff back to the United States, and and really it was beautiful because in the end they were like, why should we're experiencing this great pipe renaissance in the United States. All this stuff is coming from overseas, from Asia, but primarily from Europe. And they're like, well, why should the Europeans have all the fun, right? I mean, we're consuming all these pipes over here. There's a tobacco renaissance and
Right,
all this
right.
stuff. Like, man, let's make American made, production pipes, manufactured pipes that are in a serial manufacturer environment, and that's what they did. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I mean, you mentioned too. I mean, with kind of the pipe returning, it's also kind of part of the whole hipster movement on the whole, locally made, locally sourced,
Yeah,
made in America.
small batch, artisan stuff.
Yeah.
People crave, things that are, local, supporting their community, made, by folks that maybe they've met before and things like that. And that's the great thing about BriarWorks. I mean, this is an international company now, but we're still talking about a company that's got less than 10 people working
Well,
for
that's exactly right.
it.
And so, I mean, you talk, it's of course a pipe manufacturing company, but it is one that is, very much kind of like, craft
That's right.
in that way. And
What
the fact that it is, a American based manufacturing company as well.
That's right. And what's so cool about it is all the people that are involved in this, whether they're artisan pipe makers that have come into it, or work more on the manufacturing side, or anywhere from Pete, who serves as the president of the company. These are all folks that are involved on every level, right? So they've got things like they're all working on the marketing, the sales, the events.
Mm-hmm.
They're scrubbing the bathrooms. They're literally doing everything there is to do,
Right.
because the company is that tight knit and that small. And
Mm.
so when you call up there, I mean, you're likely to catch someone in the middle of doing something. It's like calling the Country Squire. It's like people call and they want to talk to me, and it's like, man, that's great. I'd love to talk to you. I tell you what, give me 5 minutes. I'm refilling the humidifier tank and the humidor, kind of thing.
Right,
It's
right,
like,
right.
this is what we do, right? It's
Well, the early days when people would call it the Squire, they were like, they were shocked that you would answer the phone. Like, wait, I'm not going to get like his assistant or
I know.
his executive representative.
The assistant to the tobacconist, right? Yeah, the
That should
assistant.
be a thing.
It's out of control.
When
Yeah,
we upgrade the intern, he'll be the assistant. That'll be wonderful.
no, yeah, I'm sure he'll appreciate that greatly. Yeah. So anyway, BriarWorks, they began in 2012, kind of flirted with this Chinese, operation, moved back to the United States, got, it actually produced a lot of their own machinery, interestingly enough, to make some of these pipes.
Ooh.
And so, Todd and Pete, they actually, literally welded some of the machines together,
No way.
themselves, because they just weren't happy with what other people were making for them. And so,
Wow.
in order to produce these high end pipes, they wanted to do that, and eventually kind of got it off the ground that way. So BriarWorks began with the BriarWorks brand kind of as an umbrella. And then there were brands underneath that. So they had it was kind of BriarWorks pipes, and then underneath that you had BriarWorks Classic. But then you had a couple of other brands that were they would push these brands, and so there was maybe a little confusion. You had BriarWorks, but then you had Neptune pipes and you had Icarus pipes. And so if you were buying a Neptune pipe, you were buying a BriarWorks pipe, but
Okay, yeah.
but it was still, they were kind of marketing it under a different.
It was like a sub brand.
Sub brand, and a lot of folks weren't, aware that those were connected, even though they were. And so,
so you're telling me the Icarus pipes, they may be when they went a little too far with that name,
and burned up.
A little too close to the sun.
Right. That's right. That's right. Yeah. So beautiful pipes. I've actually got my Icarus here tonight. I love this pipe.
Very cool. Yeah.
Man, it's one of my best smokers. I love it for Virginia tobaccos because it's kind of got that tall, narrow bowl. It's just a real deep sloped egg shape, which is really nice. A dark sandblast, but anyway,
do they all have the white stem, or
they don't? They actually, one thing that was neat about the initial BriarWorks kind of philosophy is they and they don't do this as much anymore, but they liked the idea of interchangeable pieces, right?
Yeah.
And so they would drill the wooden part of the pipe, the stummel. They would take this and try to make it as uniform as possible so that you could interchange, a white stem or a black stem or an amber stem, or
concept,
so it's kind of like this plug and play, almost like Legos kind of thing. And if you'll notice on a lot of the earlier BriarWorks pipes, they had this acrylic ring or sometimes a metal ring that would go around the end of the shank there, and that would just kind of allow those two pieces to join together without having to be precise as far as that goes. So so they had the classic BriarWorks. They had Icarus, Neptune, and their signature brand, which is their calabashes and real high end things, which they still have actually.
Yeah, their calabashes are beautiful.
Again, that from the early days, their focus was premium briar, aged briar, high quality acrylic used in the stem pieces, but then also something that a lot of folks in this price point don't do, and that is Delrin tenons. The tenon, of course, the piece that comes out of the stem that fits into the briar to hold the pipe together. It's a really critical piece. A lot of larger pipe manufacturers don't use Delrin for the material there. And the reason Delrin is so good is because it refuses to expand and contract when heat is applied to it. And so it's just naturally gonna stay tighter and more true fitting over time. Whereas opposed to, ebonite or vulcanite just doesn't have that quality. And so that, you get a lot of more loose stems and things of that nature when that happens.
That's interesting.
Delrin's a lot stronger. It's all your artisan makers that make premium high-end pipes, they're gonna at least in the American market nowadays, you're gonna use Delrin.
Is there a visual way to tell if Delrin is used versus not being used?
There's really not, to my knowledge. Yeah, I mean, maybe a more trained eye that is more involved on the manufacturing side can. Of course, if for instance, if you take this Icarus pipe apart here, the tenon is a different color than the stem, and so maybe that might tip you off. But
okay, yeah.
But a lot of times the stem will be black, and so will the Delrin tenon, and so you just don't really know. But maybe a more trained eye would be able to tell that. But
interesting, yeah.
But anyway, so they had this kind of plug and play type thing, right? Where they were making briar, pipes and in different colored stems, and you could interchange them, and that was kind of helped along by the addition of this accent ring, where you could fudge a little bit maybe on the the alignment and things like that. But
oh wow,
does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. So if you're watching tonight, you might see there's just a little accent ring there between the stem and the shank of the pipe. And so the idea was, well, if you don't like the white stem, you take it off and you put on a black stem or a yellow stem or amber. And if it's a different size, it's just close enough because it the ring kind of covers it up there.
I like to build your own pipe style. I mean, I know that was more of what they used to do, but
and what's interesting is there's a market for that. I mean, I
Mhm.
really think it is, and certainly at the price points that BriarWorks offers and offered initially, that made sense in a lot of ways. I mean,
When
at BriarWorks, some of their premium pipes. I mean, they start at $90. And
Yeah.
these are aged briars and hand finished stems and all this kind of stuff. I mean, this is good. These are good pieces.
Yeah, no, and you mentioned the Lego thing. It reminds me a lot of kind of these custom bike type services where you can actually like
Yeah,
order various components to kind of build your own bike online,
yeah.
and then it's manufactured, and then sent to you. But yeah, I just think that's a cool concept.
It's a neat concept. What's interesting, they still do some of that, but they've kind of, with the sophistication of the American market, kind of moving in just a more seasoned direction, I guess. They realize there is a much larger market for flush, what we call flush fit, stems and tenons
Right, right,
or
right.
stems, and so imagine you've got just a traditional pipe, a billiard, a bulldog, whatever, and these are pipes that where the flush fit, it's a the stem and the shank of the bowl don't, there's just nothing in between them. There's a seamless meet,
Yeah, if you're
there's
driving a
no
little
gap or
car on top
anything.
of it, you don't even feel the bump. You
Yeah,
just
that's
keep
right.
on driving.
That's
Yeah.
right. And so, they realized there was a more of a market for that, particularly with premium pipe smokers and things of that nature. So, so they kind of went through a shift in their strategy, right? So, these guys, they went through a little shift. They, started first of all, what I think was a smart move. They took the different brands kind of underneath BriarWorks, the Neptune and the Icarus. They took those and they were like, okay, we're going to consolidate, we're going to retire these names and
Mm.
consolidate all of our pipes under the BriarWorks moniker. When people, smoke our pipes, we
Take
don't.
that, heathen gods.
Yeah, no, no. We don't want to think that that there's multiple brands here. This is one
Right, right,
brand. We're
right.
BriarWorks. We're BriarWorks USA. We're a working man's pipe and American made, and we're proud of that. And so we want all this to be very accessible from the consumer standpoint. And so they did that. They've got the BriarWorks Classic and the BriarWorks Signature now, and eventually added the BriarWorks Original as well, which is kind of nice. But these are all under the BriarWorks name, and then started doing more of the custom, flush fit, more hand finished, polished tenons, and stem. Stems with the briars and things like that, where it would just be more of a seamless what you would expect more from a real premium pipe, and that's kind of where they live today.
Yeah.
Is that market? It's just really nice, and again, for these pipes that start, gosh, at $90 and go up from there. These are some of the finest, production pipes that you'll find it literally in the world. I mean, we've talked about brands that we all know and love and are aware of from around the world. And BriarWorks, to some degree, uses manufacturing processes and materials that are superior to some of those brands.
Mm,
And so
mhm.
we won't name names, but that these are people that are really concerned. Again, these are snobby artisan pipe makers, right? These guys are live in Nashville.
Right, right, right.
They got a chip on their shoulder, right? And
Oh,
so they want to get it right. I mean, what are you saying? The pipe isn't going to run a pipe cleaner if you got it. Of course, it's going to run a pipe cleaner. Um, and I love that. I think there's a real beauty there, and certainly for the price, you're getting just a really well engineered piece.
that's good.
Really cool. So all the shapes that they make and use are inspired by some of the carvers that are associated for them, or associated with them, or work at the shop or that kind of thing. And again, you've got to remember this is a as much as you see BriarWorks around the pipe community, you see them on different retailers' websites, and our website and everywhere else. Um, Again, this is a company that has less than 10 people on the payroll, right? I mean, so it's really a family effort. They're all kind of digging in, but they all have say in the different shapes and designs and finishes and things of that nature, and all play a part in that, which I think is really a lot of fun. It reminds me a lot of the Country Squire, of our own little shop. So, um,
Yeah, all 10 people of y'all here.
yeah,
Yeah.
on a good day working here, there's like three, right?
Right, right,
And
right.
generally it's one or two, but yeah. So we've got shapes that are inspired by these American pipe makers that work there. Some of their more popular ones. We've got the C91, which is a bent apple. The new author shape that they've come out with this year, the C101. Probably my favorite is the just the classic shape that was made popular by GBD and Kamoy in the mid 20th century, called the bull moose. They kind of use that as the inspiration for their C111 shape, and we actually have talked about that shape before on Country Squire Radio. It's just a wonderful shape pipe, and just something that's real chunky, very I don't know, just real masculine. It's kind of, when you see that pipe, it's like that's a substantial pipe. And they've got a really elegant Prince shape, the C121, which is just a real slim line Prince, very medium-sized bowl, real delicate lines, very nice pipe. And something they just came out with was the Cuddy and their Belge pipe. So these are pipes that are going to have more of that. We've talked a lot on the show about Cuddy pipes, those nice egg-shaped pipes that tend to cant forward a little bit. They've got that in the Belge. They also have it in the with the little stiletto, as it were, on the on the bottom of the bowl there, with the real just traditional design. And so a lot of neat shapes there. Another thing that they did along the way as well was BriarWorks absorbed the Moonshine brand of pipes, and so Moonshine, of course, these were pipes made here in the United States,
Right,
handmade pipes. The pipe maker in question, he kind of wanted to get out of pipe making, but had this brand that was popular, and so the folks at BriarWorks, they were smart enough and aggressive enough and creative enough to kind of take on the spirit of that brand, but then kind of make it undergo the same production processes that their BriarWorks pipes do. So the Moonshine pipes, excellent pipes. They have different shapes, but they're all made there at the BriarWorks factory. And are going to be typically at a little higher price point than some of the BriarWorks classics, but they're all there. Again, starting in that same 90 to 250 range. It's kind of the bread and butter of where their pieces are. Again, these are aged briars, premium briar, but also the tenons are well fit. These are pipes that are engineered. They're not just thrown together, which you have to appreciate.
Oh, absolutely, man. I love their calabash style too, like especially like the various kind of color combinations too. That very rusticated black briar
Yeah.
underneath, but then you've got kind of the light smooth
Smooth
top
bowl or
Yeah,
something.
I think that's so cool.
I have a BriarWorks calabash. It's one of the most expensive pipes I own. It was probably it's one of the best smoking pipes I've got. It was probably financially one of the stupidest purchases I made of this past year. But I'll be honest, it's the best smoking pipe I have as far as the temperature level goes. I've never smoked a pipe that has a more airy, cool smoke than my BriarWorks calabash. And of course, they use it is a all briar calabash, and so they're not using gourd or mahogany or anything. It's a briar bowl with a briar top on there. Of course, and BriarWorks, they had this really great idea. When they made their calabash, they were like, we're going to make interchangeable bowls on this thing, and so each bowl of the calabash is actually attached with small magnets, and you can actually swap them out.
So
And so
cool.
if you have let's say you've got a bowl that you really like smoking aromatics out of, you can swap that out with a bowl that maybe you dedicate to English blends or Virginias or something. But it's very well designed, good fitting
Man,
piece.
I love
So
to see innovation in the pipe industry, man. That is so
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
That just makes me happy.
It's great. You do see some of these companies have come out with pipes that feature just a whole lot of metal.
Yep, yep.
Sometimes that can be executed nicely. Sometimes it's a bit much for me, to be honest. But the idea of just inserting small magnets that allow you to swap the bowls out, it preserves the purity of the pipe, the elegance of it, but lets you just have something kind of new and different. And I think that's a lot of fun.
Yeah,
So
man.
anyway, great folks up there, and would love to see anyone that listens to Country Squire Radio that would have one of their pipes and have enjoyed them.
Absolutely, man. It's so great to be able to feature an American made pipe manufacturing company. And it's great because, of course, this podcast is brought to you in part by another great American-made pipe
That's
manufacturing
right, a
company.
very historic one that is storied in excellent pipes.
Oh, storied. I like that.
That's
because,
right.
of course, we're talking about our good friends at Missouri Meerschaum.
That's right.
And the pipe tonight is a pipe that is named after a storyteller in its own right. This is the Mark Twain.
That's right, the Mark Twain. It's one of our best-selling Missouri Meerschaums here at the Country Squire. Recently, we've been selling a lot of the legends. We sell a lot of legends. We sell a lot of the country gentleman pipes. But then the Mark Twain has really come online as just a house favorite here, and I think there's a reason for that. Mark Twain, it's got a generous sized bowl. It's a medium to large size bowl. It's a distinct Dublin shape. You've got that kind of angled cob, which is really nice. They had to use a pretty good sized cob to make this particular pipe.
Oh yeah.
And just it either comes in a straight stem or a bent stem variety. Again, you've got your black stem there that meets a polished bowl. And it's just a really elegant pipe. This would be a great pipe for folks that are entering into the
I was about to say.
the custom cob competition
Looks like
that we're
an upside
sponsoring.
down Christmas tree. You could go that route with it.
No,
You
that's
could,
right.
You could actually. I was thinking about it. You could go kind of upside down with
You
it.
could
or
you
to
could
the
put
side or something like
yeah,
that.
you could put a couple of them together.
Could be
You
like a
could
holly type situation.
cornucopia. I don't know.
Oh,
I mean,
you never know.
there's just a lot of things going on.
You never
But
know.
the Mark Twain, it just would be a great canvas for a custom cob, and certainly to smoke on its own. So anyway, Missouri Meerschaum pipes, we believe in them, smoke them, and push them, and use them all the time. And thank them for supporting this podcast. And if you have a Missouri Meerschaum pipe, you smoke it, particularly if you have the Mark Twain, tweet out a picture of that, an image of that, or let us know. We'd love to retweet that and let the folks at Missouri Meerschaum know that you love their stuff and are thankful that you heard about them on Country Squire Radio.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, man. We got a pipe question of the week this week that's being brought to us by our good friends at Father the Flame.
That's right.
Now, Father the Flame is an awesome documentary that is in the works. In fact, longtime listeners of Country Squire Radio know that we've been following this since the earliest days of the Country Squire Radio podcast. Father the Flame, they've been working on this. They need some help in fundraising for the sound mixing as they kind of finish up the film here. And to do that, they are having an online auction. Now, this is really great because, of course, they have pipes that are featured by Lee Eric, Rob E. I always mispronounce the Shakira.
Shakira, the famous pipe maker, Shakira. Yeah, that's right.
That's right.
Our friend Chacombe, they're in St. Claude, France, of course, made their beautiful Father the Flame logoed pipe, which is a well-made pipe.
Mm-hmm. That's absolutely right. And of course, you need to get on this because the dates are coming up. It's November 17th through the 19th. So it is almost here.
Yeah, that's right. At the end of this week.
This is the time. Of course, fathertheflame.com is their website. Be sure to head over there. Not only are you going to get yourself a great pipe, but you're also helping raise these funds so we can get this documentary finished. I cannot wait to see it, man.
Yeah, that's right.
Some of y'all have been so lucky to see it at like the pipe shows and everything.
We did. We had the chance in Chicago to see basically the one of the cuts. It was they edit. It wasn't pre-edited.
I mean, that sound mixing, didn't it?
They've done some work on there, but they're right there at the end, and it's just so exciting to see that happen. So connect with them through email, social media. If you'd like to donate to the auction, they've got just a lot of great opportunity there. So anyway, you've got some good opportunity to shop for Christmas presents and things with them. And again, fathertheflame.com. We encourage you to go there and take part in this great effort.
That's right. 17th through the 19th coming up later this week. All right. Pipe question of the week is written in from Matthew Thomas, who says, pipe question of the week for you. Tongue bite. Is it real? If you read tobacco,
spooky ghost.
If you read tobacco reviews, it almost doesn't matter what tobacco is being reviewed. Someone is going to say that it bites. In my own experience, I felt bitten mostly when I smoke too hot or too quickly. I have noticed that some blends, particularly some Perique blends, have a spicy aspect, even a peppery aspect that can hit the tongue, but I wouldn't call it an unpleasant bite.
Yeah.
In all your wisdom and experience, do you think the tongue bite is a real thing, or is it only in the beholder as a result of smoking it too hot? John David Cole, is it possible that tongue bite is strictly just a myth?
It's a ooh.
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 Ooh, this is welcome to Mythbusters Tobacco Addiction.
Tobacco addiction and addition. Man, so in my infinite wisdom and experience, we do see tongue bite as a real thing, right? And it happens for a variety of reasons. So you've got you've got people that will nitpick this, like they'll say, well, tongue burn is different from tongue bite, right? They'll say things like tongue burn happens when you don't know how to smoke a pipe properly, and tongue bite is a chemical reaction that happens between your tongue and the smoke of the tobacco, whatever. Anyway, regardless, there is constantly the sensation of burning your tongue when you're smoking a pipe if you are smoking different tobaccos or whatever. And so this can happen for a variety of reasons. Tongue bite, can be due to smoking maybe an inferior quality tobacco, or smoking a tobacco too, hot, where maybe sipping it too fast, puffing it too quickly. We all have a propensity to chase those big plumes of smoke. That's always what we want, is to, oh, I'm puffing my pipe, and when I puff my pipe, I want to see these huge clouds of smoke because that's more satisfying, right?
Right.
And so that's great, but the problem with that is, when you're puffing your pipe fast enough to produce those plumes of smoke, you're getting your pipe really hot. The tobacco, obviously is the temperature is going to be hotter. You're pulling more hot air into your mouth at one time. And so your tongue is probably going to burn, that can be complicated again with the fact that maybe you're smoking lower quality tobacco. Maybe the tobacco has more moisture in it. And so that, tongue bite can come from that aspect. But then also, you had mentioned, sometimes there's a pleasant tongue bite as well, which is interesting. Sometimes tobaccos have, different qualities that, for me as a Virginia smoker, for instance, I like to smoke a tobacco that makes me aware that I'm smoking something substantial. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you want some body to it.
Yeah, I want some body to it. Not just thick body though. Also, like there's a pleasant crispness to a Virginia that I think some people would refer to as a bite. And sometimes that's a nice thing. That type of bite tends to come from the natural sugar that is in the leaf. And again, there with Virginia tobaccos or Periques, as you had mentioned in your question, Matthew, that there's a natural sugar there that is just going to create more of a little sting on your tongue than other tobaccos do. And so the key with those tobaccos is to puff your pipe more slowly. You've got to learn how to sip your pipe. I've been using that language, that verbiage more often recently. Sipping your pipe, something where you're puffing your pipe fast enough to keep it lit, but slow enough to keep it cool. And you've got to really focus on that sipping aspect of it. Our good friend Russ Hicks, who longtime friend of the shop and Country Squire Radio,
first ever member.
That's right. That's right. Of our pipe
member
club.
numero uno.
That's right. But Russ, good friend, and he focuses so much on a cool smoke and on puffing your pipe slowly and deliberately that he's actually willing, he's said this before, he's actually willing to let his pipe go out regularly, as long as you can relight it easily.
That's right.
Without producing more tongue bite. In his mind, the goal is to produce that slow, cool burning smoke. And if that means occasionally it goes out and you just have to apply just a little dash of flame to get it relit and have that excellent flavor come back out, it's worth it to go slow and to have it really, really cool.
I like that. Yeah.
And so, I think there's something to that. There, sipping your pipe, experiencing that just real slow puff it can be very rewarding, But anyway, so tongue bite is real. It can happen for a lot of reasons. Again, you've got inferior tobacco quality, moisture in the tobacco, and then also natural sugar content in your in your tobacco as well, puffing it too quickly, things of that nature, having to relight your pipe multiple times and doing it maybe too fast or too hard. And so the key again is to learn how to keep your pipe lit, how to puff it slowly, how to sip your tobacco. And each different tobacco and frankly each different pipe is going to have its own quirks, and you're going to have to learn how to interact with each of those. So that's part of the fun of pipe smoking. And you just kind of have to get used to it.
That's good, man. I like the idea that tongue bite's just this massive conspiracy theory. All right, like there's this massive conspiracy.
Are those black helicopters out the window?
I know. Who's in them?
I think it might be.
Who's
I know.
Is it Cornell and Deal? Is it because of the whole seersucker thing? They've been waiting.
Did those have C and D logos on the side of them?
Yeah.
Black helicopters. Yeah,
been waiting ever since you claim. Did you steal seersucker from them, or did they steal it from you?
Oh, they stole it from me.
They stole it from you. All right. So what do you want, guys?
I know. Oh my gosh, Jeremy Reeves is about to break in our shop. I'm just kidding. Jeremy, we love you, man.
He's got SWAT gear on.
That's right. That's right.
Bust through the window.
I'm coming for you, baby. Right. He's wearing seersucker. That's amazing.
A seersucker SWAT uniform.
That's fantastic.
Oh, brilliant.
We need a seersucker SWAT uniform.
Oh, we definitely do not.
Yeah. I don't know. We're in the South. We're ridiculous. We could get away with it.
I am very anti seersucker. Not the tobacco, just the style. I'm all for the tobacco, just not the style.
Great question, Matthew Thomas. That was really, really great.
That's right. And if you've got a pipe question of the week, send it in show@countrysquireradio.com. Quick fire question.
Ow!
Man, I feel so muted tonight. I can't.
Well, you got the crud.
I know.
Yeah,
I know.
you do sound.
Everybody's gonna be like, Beau was much more pleasant this episode because he wasn't like yelling like a lunatic.
Yeah, the shares of this episode and the ratings of this episode, the downloads, they're gonna be off the charts. It's like, what was different that time? Well, Beau was kind of.
I know someone's gonna infect me with the flu like every 5 seconds. Like, oh,
let's send Beau an envelope with some arsenic in it. Or something. Yeah.
All right, these questions, of course, come in from the forums at thispipelife.com. More about thispipelife.com in just a minute. But these are from Jay Freedy. Now, Jay Freedy, he's always been good about sending in these quick fire questions. We did some of his last week. The theme this week is about personal hygiene.
Oh, wow. Look at this.
I'll go ahead and tell you
personal hygiene.
The answer is clearly none.
No, you're right. for these two?
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously.
I'm just saying. All right, but no, but for
wow.
real.
Okay. So for Jay Freedy, bringing quick fire questions.
This is gonna get personal.
Personal hygiene. Okay, bring it. Yeah. Well, we've done boxers and briefs before, so let's see what he's got.
Good point.
Let's see what he's got.
All right, here we go.
All right.
Bath or shower?
Shower.
All right, now don't judge me. But lately, I've been getting into like
you'd like to get in the tub,
dude. Man, look, you get the tub, the hot water going, you get the bubbles and everything else. You get the rubber ducky.
You get in there with maybe a glass of Pinot Grigio or something.
Hey,
and
man.
Maybe your favorite Jane Austen book or something.
Well, you put the iPad on and you put like the television series or whatever it is, and you get caught up on your what's something that people are watching these days?
Stranger Things.
Stranger Things.
Right.
No, but there you go. Stranger Things.
There you're
Stranger
right.
Things, and you enjoy that.
Okay.
But no, I mean shower for convenience. But if I had the time and the choice, and nice
tub
bath,
every time.
Man, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I like the feeling of baths. Boy, this is getting personal. I told you. I like the feeling of baths. The problem with a bath is your gunk goes into the water.
It's a cesspool.
And then you sit in the gunk water.
That's why you have to have the soap. You make it a bubble bath and you can't see all the gunk.
Yeah, so the soap isn't doing anything but making you feel better because you can't see it.
Yeah.
There's something about that just kind of
fair point.
I don't know. We live in the 21st century. Let's take showers.
All right. Do you rather bathe in the morning or bathe in the evening?
Morning. I gotta, I can't start the day feeling. We're living in the South. It gets so hot. You gotta start the day feeling fresh.
Yeah, you gotta clean yourself up.
Yeah.
I used to be morning. I switched to evening because I started running in the afternoons, and so it just made a lot.
Yeah, if that's the case. Yeah, you got to do it. Yeah.
All right. Bar of soap or body wash?
I actually have friends that make the soap that I use, and that is a very granola hipster thing that I never thought I would admit to thousands of people on air. But yeah, I use a bar of charcoal soap that's made here locally. It's called Wee soap.
Wait, I'm sorry. Charcoal soap?
It's charcoal soap.
You wash with charcoal? And
you're
judging me for my cesspool?
No, that's right. It's actually black soap. It's made with charcoal, and it's made by Willie and Aaron, married friends that I have, and they Willie and Aaron, their company is called Wee Soap. Wee for WE for Willie and Aaron. and they make great soap.
Oh wow.
So, yeah.
All right. Fair enough.
So wait, what are you, Beau?
I'm body wash. It's way more convenient.
It's easy,
Shampoo and conditioner or shampoo only?
dude. With these locks,
I was about to say.
you got to condition, baby.
Yeah. I do like the shampoo conditioner when it's mixed into one thing. Yeah, you get the shampoo plus conditioner.
No, that's right.
But
yeah.
I mean, like, I wear a hat for a reason. Very few people know what my hair looks like. Well, I say that. On the,
What's left of it?
Yeah.
It hit too close to home, Beau?
Ooh, yeah.
I'm sorry. Next question.
Fair but painful. All right.
Pour him another Uzo.
Single blade razor or multiple blade razor?
Single blade.
What is electric razor?
That would be multiple blade.
Then a multiple blade. For me.
Yeah. Obviously, you don't use it very often because you have a beard.
Well, not at the moment.
No, I guess that's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Compared to your glorious, thing.
Oh, glorious! Yes.
Yeah, I'm still getting those baby face memes in. And then finally, shaving cream, gel or foam?
I don't use shaving cream very often, but when I do, I like the foam.
I don't normally use shaving cream,
but when I do, I like the foam. Yeah.
I don't think I've ever once used shaving cream in my entire life.
Wow.
Yeah, I do. At some point I do want to get one of those, like, the straight razor type shaves where they're like, cream and
we have a lot of listeners that are into that.
That's like a thing.
It's a thing. If, again, we're experiencing. We talked about it earlier in the show. This renaissance of things that create small batch stuff. Things that take more time that increase the experience, and right along with pipe smoking and small batch bourbon and fountain pens, you've got your straight razor people, and so I think there's something to that. Yeah.
Awesome. All right.
Wow. I feel like we just we let folks into our bathroom time.
Yeah. I mean, not that we share bathroom time together, just that
we for the record, we do not.
We do not.
Right.
Except for that one time
at bank camp. I'm just kidding.
All right, man. So great quick fire questions. Those came in again from Jay Freedy over at thispipelife.com. Now, thispipelife.com is an awesome online community.
What a great place.
If you've never checked it out, it's the website's really easy to remember. It's thispipelife.com. Also, you could use the code CSR when you sign up to let them know that you heard about them on this show. They're also on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. Wherever you are, you can find great resources from thispipelife.com. Again, use the code CSR when you register at thispipelife.com. All right, man, listener feedback this week. I tell you what, we kind of answered that first one at the top of the show.
Yeah.
So, Mike, if you'll cut me out saying that right there, and I'll start right over. Listener feedback in this week. This first one comes in from Tim. What did Tim have to say?
He said, first, I want to ask you, don't use my real name.
T.
He actually says, first, I want to ask you, don't use my real last name on the show.
Oh.
I prefer to be anonymous.
Let's have some fun with this. Then in that case, this is coming in from T. McGillicuddy.
T. McGillicuddy.
T. McGillicuddy.
That's right.
Timmy McGillicuddy.
T. McGillicuddy says, anyways, here we go. This video is for Beau. Link removed. Beau, Google actual cannibal Shia
Shia
LaBeouf live Rob Cantor. I know. Just trust me. Okay, and I don't know how this is going to translate to podcast or anyone listening.
Just Google cannibal Shia LaBeouf. I think that'll probably find you there.
Okay, I hope so. He said also, question for John David. This is this Fusiliers ration stuff. I bought some for an autumn smoke, and it's perfect. What is in this, and why do I like it so much? It's amazing. I mean, let's see, I already knew I liked English Balkans. I liked FMC, and Hearth and Home Magnum Opus is one of my favorites. But this Fusiliers ration is out of this world. There's something in it that is different, but I can't figure it out, but it's great. Tim, I'm going to be really honest. I have no idea what Fusiliers ration is, and I will probably get berated for saying that. But I have no idea what that tobacco is. I'm assuming, because you like full-bodied, Balkan style blends, it's probably got a lot of Latakia in it. I just don't know. So I'd love to know more about it. Let us know more about that. Man, we're so glad you found us, and and thanks for listening.
Yeah, Shia LaBeouf. Weird dude.
I don't know anything about that.
Well, and if he listens to the show, come on, Shia, we'll talk to you.
Okay.
We just talked to you about pipes and nothing else. All right, so iTunes, we got this in from Footstep Follower. What did Footstep Follower have to say about us over on
Footstep.
iTunes?
Yeah, he says, must listen for pipe smokers. JD and Beau's laid back style bring a solid hour of enjoyment to my commute weekly. I just discovered their podcast a couple of months ago, but I listen weekly and I'm trying to catch as many of the past episodes as I can while driving to work. And smoking a pipe. I have a family in Eden and Yazoo, Mississippi, so I dig their genteel style. Man, it's great. Yazoo, Mississippi, just northwest of Jackson here. Actually, the home of Jerry Clower. Jerry Clower, great Southern comedian from the 70s, 80s, and 90s, and actually a customer of the Country Squire. We've got a signed portrait of Jerry Clower on our wall here.
Wow, yeah, look at that.
Jerry was a customer here for 30 years until he died. But anyway,
is he holding a chainsaw?
He is because that's a Jerry Clower thing.
All right.
Yeah. Anyway, our friend Footstep Follower did not say any of that. I did, and we're going to continue on with his thing. I have family in Eden and Yazoo, Mississippi, so I dig their genteel style. The show brings something for everyone in the pipe community, young and old, neophyte and curmudgeon. They are on point and currently regarding the state of the industry and its future. You don't know what you're missing. Tune in now.
Wow.
So, brother, thanks so much.
That's incredible.
Yeah, we're really kind words there from Footstep Follower, and that's on iTunes, which we're very thankful for those reviews.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, solid hour, man. How did we end up in that situation? Solid 45 minutes, but they often run over that. I don't think we've hit 45 minutes in a very long time.
Yeah, regularly. Yeah.
But yeah, no, absolutely. Thank you so much, Footstep, for that. And hey, if you've not headed over to iTunes and written us an iTunes review, I would strongly encourage you to do it. It's a great way to send support to the show and let good folks know over there why they should tune in, if they should tune in. One imagines if you're listening to it, you may enjoy the show. Other than those two people that always watch the YouTube video and always give us a thumbs down, but never comment on it. So
give us some feedback.
You got to let us know why you're thumbing us down.
It's probably because the mics are in our face.
It probably is.
We hear that a lot.
We do hear that a lot for the YouTube. But yeah, head over to iTunes, write us those reviews. Like I say, it's a great way to support the show. By the way, if you are willing to support the show more than just writing a review, maybe with some dollars and cents, we got a Patreon account, patreon.com/Country Squire Radio. Not only can you help support the show there, you can also join the Country Squire Radio International Pipe Club. You know, I mentioned that Russ was our first ever member.
First member, yeah.
We are getting so close
to a year
to our 100th member. We're not there yet, but I have.
That's right.
I would not be surprised if it happened before Thanksgiving. I would not be surprised. I don't want to say what number we're on right now.
Okay.
But yeah, so if you've ever considered joining or anything, now would be a good time to do it. And yeah,
I'm just now looking. We're very close.
Yeah.
Man, I didn't really catch that, but that's fantastic.
So head over there, help support out the show. If you go to countrysquireradio.com, it's got a join the club banner that'll take you right there as well.
Yep.
We also want to encourage you to keep up with us throughout the week. You can follow us each on Twitter. I'm at the Real Beau York.
I'm at John David Cole, or you can get us at the shop at @_Country Squire.
Of course, the show's Twitter handle is @Squire Radio. All that information, of course, and more can be found at countrysquireradio.com, where you can tune in live to the podcast on Monday nights at 8:30 p.m. Central. That's 6:30 Pacific and 9:30 Eastern. Again, that's countrysquireradio.com. Yeah, it's interesting, man. Like this has been a really great episode to learn about the good folks over at BriarWorks, and I do feel so like very muted. I'm about to go and crash pretty hard.
You just need to go guzzle some ouzo, or maybe I don't know, one of those great whiskeys that our friends across the country have gifted us with.
I'm very supportive of this lesbian thing, but I'm just not. I've tried it and it's not my thing. Of course, the lesbian ouzo mini.
That stuff's great.
Yeah,
it really is fantastic. I haven't been able to find this particular ouzo here in the United States yet for sale. This was gifted to me by someone that actually went over there. But man, it's just great. But yeah, you kind of have to like that licorice, that aniseed flavor.
It's just not my thing. But I'm glad you enjoy it.
Yeah, go find some bourbon.
Yeah. Oh, when I get better. Well, hey man, let's go have a night.
See you, brother.
All right, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in.
Yeah, thanks, y'all. We appreciate it.
And I'm just gonna say this. I'm imagining if you're watching it, if you're still watching, one imagines you enjoy the content, you enjoy the YouTube channel. But if you're one of these people, I mean, like, it's not a lot. It's like we only get like 1 or 2 from time to time. But I am kind of curious, like,
What do you not like?
What do you not like?
Let us know.
And you might be like,
Let us know.
you may just not like us. You may not like the shirts we wear. I'm not wearing my shirt. You might give us a thumb down for that. That's fine.
They're probably tired of the hat.
Well, that's not going.
Maybe we're too short.
Well, the point is,
I honestly think it's probably the mic in our face.
It might be,
because we hear that a lot of time.
And that's not changed.
A lot of folks are like, we can't see your face. It bothers us. But we're
a podcast first.
Well, we are, but maybe that's a blessing for you to not see our face. To not see our face.
Well,
we have been told multiple times we have a face for radio.
That's true. I'll put it this way though. I mean, like, we've listened to feedback in the past from the YouTube channel. Again, we are a podcast first, but for example, at the top of the show, announcing immediately what the topic's going to be and kind of the question that came directly from feedback.
No, that's right.
From the YouTube channel.
That's right. Yeah.
And so if there are ways we can improve it, let us know. And also for those of you tuning in, give us a thumbs up if you want to, thumbs up, subscribe, tell your friends about the channel, all the things that YouTubers normally say that we should probably start saying. So do that. That'd be awesome. But anyway,
man, y'all have a great week. Thanks for tuning in. We are one of the highlights of our week is Monday night.
Absolutely.
So it's good to see y'all.
Bye guys.
Bye.